I've never smelled angel vagina. How am I supposed to know that it smells? I'm really glad you brought this up because I think it's a misconception. First of all, I have to put it out there that I actually did rock with Angel, if you notice, in Saturday night parties, and I still do. However, that conversation that was heard, that I think the clip that was put out there was put in such a way that if it made me look bad. Funny enough, that entire conversation didn't start from there. So there was a game that was being played in the house called the Whisper game. I don't know. Yes. So it started way before that, like, I think like days, or I don't know if it's even up to a week. And they asked someone a question, and that was the answer. I wouldn't say who, but they asked someone a question. Who would you pick? Who do you think has the, smelliest, he was going to pick someone.
The smelliest what? Let's
vagina.
be sure. Oh,
and he was going to pick someone regardless. It's a game. Like, you have to pick. We're trying to make the house lively. And he picked someone. Fast forward, it was a whisper game. I was not even involved. I just happened to be one of the people that drank so they could hear who they picked. But I wasn't even involved. We went to executive lounge. Someone brought it up. It wasn't even me. And it doesn't matter who brought it up really. But we weren't even speaking about that. What was being spoken about was my friend Nini said, oh, she, because we had an argument, well, not an argument, spoke about it based on she knows. I'm like, nobody would tell her. I don't think Angel knows. Like, that's a crazy thing to actually say to her. That was what I said. So we spoke again, spoke about it again in executive. And she was like, oh, she knows. I'm like, that vagina thing, the vagina. And she was like, yeah, I think she's aware. Like, she knows, like, she overheard him and the person, Angel and the person speaking about it. And she was like, why you go choose me now? So every other person, they actually squashed it. He cleared his end that it was just a game, like she shouldn't take it, and she was fine with it. So me, I was like, oh really? So she knows. So I was still like, nah, the vagina, she doesn't know about it. That was what that was about. But the way it was played, it made it look like we're actually visiting that conversation. However, what we were visiting was the fact that she doesn't know about it. I was convinced she didn't know about it and no one would tell her. It wasn't going to be me. And my friend was like, Maria was like, Nina was like, she knows, and Maria was like, she knows. And then I think other conversations came into play. Do you know what I mean? And I think the conversations that came into play was based on she and Jackie B and how, But that particular scenario, I think it was a misconception.
Okay.
I didn't even know this was a conversation. I didn't even know this was an outburst or a thing until I came. I'm like, what? Like, where is this coming from? And they dragged me. However, I actually didn't speak on this. I didn't talk about it. And when it was revisited, it was revisited based on she doesn't know and she knows. I thought she didn't know. That was it. Funny enough. It was nothing else apart from this. But then when I came out and the clips, I'm like, okay, because I did an interview and someone played it out for me. I'm like, okay, I need the full thing. Like, and another thing that made it even worse, I guess Maria came out and she did an interview. Like, by the way, I fuck with Maria. Well, excuse my language. If you notice, the last week, I felt, I don't know about her, but I felt like we had some sort of friendship going on there. But when she came out, I don't know if she didn't understand the question or she felt like there was an attack towards her, or she diverted it because it was clearly a game. None of us said it. She didn't say it. I didn't say it. Initially, it was just a conversation, a game. And then when we spoke about it upstairs, we spoke about it based on she knows or she doesn't know. Well, I think the fact that she did that interview and she made it look like it was me that started the conversation made it even worse for me. So yeah, it was not even speaking about anything. Like, I've never smelled angel vagina. How am I supposed to know that it smells? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So it was obviously a misconception. Came out, that was the first thing my team told me. Like, everyone went along with this. And my thing is, obviously, the videos when I came into the executive lounge, when that conversation was started, was there. Why wasn't the entire thing out in the open? That was my thing. Like, why didn't we have the entire clip out in the open? But they just had the part where he said vagina. However, I was talking about the vagina thing, like, join me. I was trying to get the conversation, like she doesn't know or whatever. And then there were other conversations that came in place. But then the entire blame went to me. It's crazy because I actually don't know. Like, I was